The ClimeFish project aims at developing a decision support framework, including quite a lot of different resources that can support the industry under climate change and ensure that they have a good production. Altogether, ClimeFish gathers 21 different partners from 16 different countries. To ensure that we include all the fish production in Europe, ClimeFish includes 3 different sectors. We have the marine fisheries, the marine aquaculture production, and the production in freshwater lakes and ponds. When looking at all these 3 sectors, we need to ensure that we diversify and that we include kind of temperature-tolerant species that might be less resilient, and also focus on the species that we think have the biggest potential. So we thereby end up with altogether 21 species represented in 15 case studies throughout Europe. The main impacts on aquaculture is the temperature. The temperature has a huge impact on the growth of the fish in the pond. A main impact of climate change on fisheries is the temperature again, but here we see easily a growth in the biomass of the stock because species move further north, they get access to new areas, and they thereby have access to more food. So some stocks really grow bigger and thereby expand their distribution area. We assume that quite a few species will disappear from the southern European parts and move further north, so we will have perhaps new tropical species coming in. So the distribution and the migration of the stocks is probably the biggest challenge when it comes to the legal aspects and the governance of these stocks and these fisheries.
Try to engage all of the stakeholders, the fisheries, the aquaculture producers, the processors, the NGOs, and also the decision makers and researchers, trying to get their knowledge and knowing their needs and problems regarding with the climate change and how these climate change impacts are affecting their activities, and try to provide this information for create the decision support framework to develop in the project.
The decision support software shall bring together the results from the biological model and the socioeconomic impacts and allow decision makers to kind of play around with different scenarios and different variables they are interested in, and to see how things like, for example, the amount of fish they catch, but also perhaps socioeconomic indicators change depending on climate change.